Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And for a few minutes, I just want to talk a little bit about Sean Payton. Because you probably already seen, if you've been checking out YouTube, Sean Payton was on Radio Row taking a part in some of the festivities going on at Super Bowl 54. And he did a couple of interviews, man. And one interview he did was on ESPN First Take with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. And, they were asking him some very, very serious questions about the future of the team. The usual story came up, about Drew Brees and possibly retiring, who's going to be a successor. But another topic came up, and it seems like to me that Sean Payton got in his feelings. And it had a lot to do with some of the decisions that he has made over the past few years. And it seemed like he got so upset that at the end, when they thanked him for, being on the show, he didn't even respond. And, it just made me wonder, man, like, why is it that he gets upset at things that he already knows? I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, we got to call a spade, all right? Sean Payton over the last few years has really done an outstanding job at coaching this team. I mean, you can't knock that. I mean, they have 70-plus wins over the past 3 seasons. Probably some of the best Saints teams that have ever been assembled. The only issue is that they didn't get over the hump. And when people look at the records, of course, what comes to everybody's mind is, why can't they get over the hump? And you have to look at the decisions that Sean Payton have made, okay? Leading up to this point, he has made good decisions. But before then, when you had Drew Brees in his prime, when you had opportunities to make a run, you didn't do it. Like, that is call it for what it is. I mean, in the early 2010s, 2011, 2012s, he was still messing around with some of these same guys who was holding the Saints defense back because those was his boys and he didn't want to have those tough conversations with them. So he decided to keep them on. And year after year after year, they were squandering the prime of Drew Brees by putting mediocre defenses on the field, guys that couldn't stop a nosebleed, and he had an opportunity to do so, and he didn't. So why is it that he's getting upset at Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman for telling him the truth? And the truth that people around the Who That Nation has been saying for years. It's not even about a national, personality telling you this. The Who That Nation has been telling them this. And you think about Sean Payton, and you think about, like, his ego, and you think about how he feels like he's always right for some apparent reason, and how he gets upset when people question some of the decisions that he make as if you can't do that. You call such boneheaded plays, and then when you get into a press conference, you don't want to talk about it. And you get mad at these guys for stating the obvious that you had opportunity to possibly have a couple more Super Bowls, but you decided not to fix the defense. You decided to think that we can rise above that because we got Drew Brees and we got Pierre Thomas and we got Darren Sproles and we got all these other guys in the past. You never just thought about fixing your defense. Don't get mad at the people for criticizing you for not doing that. But I just thought that was real whack on his part, man, because you can't just want all the praise and everybody talk about how great of a play caller you are on one hand when everything going right, but don't want to take any criticism. I call it for what it is. Sean Payton, his inability to make those tough decisions, back in the day really caused the Saints a lot of hardship. And they really squandered some of those good years that Drew Brees had left before we were even having some of these conversations about arm strength and how long he had to play. So he can't get mad at Stephen A. Smith. He can't get mad at Max Kellerman. And he damn sure, excuse my French, can't get mad at the Who That Nation or the guy at Rouse's, the meat man, that criticized you about not running a football, not putting things around Drew Brees for them to succeed, hoping that Drew Brees actually gets the coin toss where the offense take the field for him to have opportunity to win because the defense can't stop anybody. You can't get mad at everybody. You have to get mad at yourself, Sean Payton. You have to look in the mirror and say, hey, man, I take some blame in this. You can't get mad at individuals for stating the obvious, my friend, especially when you had opportunities to do something about it, but you didn't. But I would love to hear from you. What do you all think about Sean Payton? What do you think about his interview? If you watched the interview, do you think he was in his feelings, or do you think that, he was justified for being upset at the line of questions? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. Once again, my name is TJ Jones. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search State of the Saints podcast. Also on facebook.com, search State of the Saints podcast. And please subscribe to the brand new spinoff of the State of the Saints podcast entitled The State of the Game. We talk about all sports. We talk about all NFL teams, all NBA teams, anything about sports. And if it's a big enough topic, we are going to discuss it. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel of The State of the Game, okay? YouTube.com, search State of the Game. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?